Hi, this is Kate from Izzalicious Designs. Today I'm going to show you how to make my little 3D Amigurumi minions. They're tiny little minions. So what we're going to do is the colours we're going to need: yellow, black, blue, silver and white. We are going to make it on the hook. You can choose whether you do 2 eyes or 1 eye. That's completely up to you. If you do 2, you just anchor 2 of them side by side rather than one slap bang in the middle. Let's get started. We're going to use a loom just to do the magic ring part, which I think is it shows you easier how to do it. So I'm going to zoom in just a little bit so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Single white band, place it on a peg of your hook, and you're going to make sure that the open part of the peg is facing away from you. Wrap that band around so that you have it wrapped around that hook, that peg, 3 times. You wrap it around twice so that you have 3 loops, okay? Somebody said to me the other day, oh, you didn't wrap it around twice, you wrapped it around 3 times. No, I wrapped it around twice to get 3 loops. All right. Let's pop your hook through, and we're going to do 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 bands in our magic ring. You're going to grab that first band and link it through like that, and then reclaim. Take the one closest to you up and over as if you were doing a slip knot. Move it around the peg. Go back down, still leaving that little loop on your hook. Drag the second band through. Take the part of the band that's closest to you up and over, and then join these 2 bands together by moving the one closest to you up and over as a slip knot, like this. Budge it around, push your hook back through, zoom a bit closer. It's hard to see with white. Do the third one, drag it through. You're going to take this middle band up and over, so you've got them both left on your hook. Take one over, move it around, push your hook back through. Move it around, push your hook back through. Push your hook back through. This is our last one. And take it off the loom. That's all you're going to need your loom for. Spread these out so that they're more evenly spaced around, so that they're a ring and not a semicircle. Okay. I'm just trying to get it all in focus for you. Now, we are going to need a stitch marker of some sort. Now, I have this little packet of stitch markers which I had bought at my local crafts shop. I'm going to use a blue one. If you don't have a stitch marker, you can use a paper clip. You could use a safety pin. You could use another colour. A C clip, an S clip, it really doesn't matter. Just something to mark your stitches. So I'm going to put my hook through. Now you can see you've got these little teardrop shapes. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Number 6 is on our hook. If I push my hook through that first teardrop like this, and I've changed to silver bands now, what I'm going to do is put a silver band on my hook, and I'm going to do a slip knot like this. Okay, and I'm going to put my marker on that. I'll just go out a bit so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. Now, we're going to go back through this one hole here, this stitch here, with another band, and drag it through, one over the other, and then move the other over, like so. That's our first little loop that we found. We're going to go back through it do that again through the same stitch. And this is called an increase. So you have 2 in that one stitch. Go through to the second stitch, and we're going to do 2 single crochets in that one as well. So here's our first one. Move it up and over, and then go back through that stitch. With your new band, you're going to do your second single crochet in that stitch, like that. Move to the third stitch, push your hook through. You're going through both of those little white loops, grab a new silver band, pull it through, and you'll take this one up and over, and then join them together, up and over. We're going to put another one in here, single band, pull it through, reclaim, up and over, up and over. And we're doing that in all of these stitches till we get round to the stitch marker again. 2 stitches in each. So that's 1, and 2, and then in here, 1, and 2, and then our last one here, 1, and back through for our second one, and 2. Now this is our stitch here, this is our first one, can you see it? This little loop here. We're going to put our hook through, and I'm going to use black bands because I'm going to tie them in to the black part of his mask or his glasses. Drag it through the first stitch like that, but then the loop that we have on our hook, you're going to put that on as well. Reclaim one over the other and pull tight in a slip knot. And that is how we're going to attach it to one side of his face. You're going to go the other side, the mirror image of that, put your hook through, and you're going to tie another black band here. Now, if you're doing 2 eyes, you make another one, exactly the same as this. And instead of placing it in the middle of the little minion's face, you would put it side by side, like this. As you put them through, you poke them through like that. Okay, so this is our eye. We're going to put that to one side, and we're actually going to start now on the actual minion itself. So I will move my bands out the way and get myself situated. So to start with our minion's little body, we're going to use our loom again to make a magic ring. Take a yellow band and place it on the peg with the open part facing away from you, and you're going to twist it once and twice, so you have 3 loops. You're then going to use 5 bands, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're going to loop those through. So put the first one in, drag it back through, reclaim, if you can. I just put hand cream on. Very sensible to do before a tutorial. Take the one closest to you, up and over, as if you were doing a slip knot. Move it around, and then keeping your loop on your hook, push it through your loom again. And you do this for all 5 bands. So with this one, you're going to take the middle band, up and over, and then join the 2 by taking the one closest to you, up and over, squidge it around, pop your hook through, pop your hook through, and squidge it around, and the last one, pop your hook through like that, and then you can take this off your loom. You're going to be left, it almost is going to look like a semicircle. I'm going to zoom in just a bit so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. Now we're going to move these around our little circle so that they're more evenly spaced, like that. Okay, now what we're going to do is put our hook through here, and we'll do a little slip knot. So you're going to take your first band, put it through that loop and through the loop that was on your hook, reclaim and knot. And this is where you're going to put your stitch marker. As I said, you could use a safety pin, a paper clip, an S clip, a Q clip, well, not a Q clip really, C clip, whatever. Now we're going to do an increase in each of these little loops, which means you put your hook in and you're going to do 2 single crochets in each one. So here's our first single crochet. You put your hook loop through, move it over and join, and then go back through that same initial stitch and do another one like that. Go through the second stitch and you're going to put 2 single crochets in that one. Here's our first, and then go back through for your second. And let's do the same for the third. One, back through again for the second. Here's our fourth. Our first stitch. Here's our second. And here's number 5 right here. 1, and back through for the second. There we go. Now we have our stitch marker here. It's in one side of the loop. We'll put our hook through both sides of the loop like that, and we're going to do our next round. Our next round is going to be a single crochet. So you're going to do a single crochet, and I'm going to move my stitch marker from where it was into that single crochet. Now we're going to do an increase, so that's 2 single crochets in the same stitch. So here's 1 and 2. There we go. And then we're going to do a single crochet in this one, and then an increase in this one, oops, so a single and then an increase, back through that same stitch, a single, next one, single, and we're back at the beginning again. I'm going to put my hook through and drag my loop to do a single crochet. I'm going to take this out and put my stitch marker in. Now I'm going to do 2 rounds of just single crochet. So you put your hook in and we do a whole round all the way around of just a single crochet in each loop. And then we're back at the beginning and we're going to do another round. So back at the beginning here, let's move our stitch marker so we know where to start again. Doing another round of single crochet. For those of you who complain that I go too fast, please remember you can actually pause the video. I tell you before each round what stitches we're doing for the round. So you can actually pause the video, do the round, and then restart me when you're ready for the next round. So once we get to the end here, do your last stitch here, we're going to do this, we're going to do one more here. Now our next stitch we're going to go in and we're going to do a slip stitch in black. So take a single band, slide it through the next stitch, but then slide it through your loop as well and join like this, and we're going to put our stitch marker in that. I didn't do that very well. Let's try that again. Like that. Now we're going to do 2 rounds single crochet in black. So pop your hook through the first stitch and it's a single crochet, and we do that all the way around. Now the beauty of this is if you do drop a stitch, it doesn't really matter because they're sort of these little knots that you've already formed and you just pick them up and redo them. So it's really not a huge drama. back to the beginning. We're going to go through that next one here. Take your stitch marker out, do your single crochet and put your stitch marker back in, so we know that this is our beginning, and we're going to do our second round of black single crochets. Oopsie. Through both of the loops. Now I'm at the beginning again, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through this loop here. I'll take out my stitch marker and I'm going to take a single yellow and do a slip stitch like that, so that I have them joined together. I'm going to put my stitch marker back in, and now I'm going to go through and do a single crochet in yellow. I'm going to do 3 rounds of yellow. Oops, look at me go. That's better. Just a single crochet in each. Back at the beginning, I'm going to go through both of those loops and I'm going to do my second round. Give me back my stitch marker. There we go. So this is number 2, and if you remember I said we had to do 3, And for those of you interested, yes, you could continue doing yellow, black, and make a lovely bumblebee. Oops, just one band. Back at the beginning again, put your hook through. I should really move these yellow bands a bit closer, shouldn't I? And we're going to do round number 3. Again, all just yellow bands. And we'll put our last one in and put our stitch marker on it like so. Now if you have a look, it's looking sort of like this, and I'm using this as my back. This is where you would put your eye, and I'm just going to do 1, okay? So if you want to do this. Now the other thing you can do, if you want to make a more pronounced pupil, you can use one of these doll eyes as well, which has the backing to it. And what you would do is poke that through the middle there, so it sort of looks like he has a better eye. And you could poke that through the centre where you want the eye to be, like that for example. So you can get one of these little closures and pop that on the end and push it through like that, and that will help you keep it in place in the middle. And then these side little loops here, and you can take your hook out because you have the stitch marker there, the side bits, what you're going to do is go through one side here, and you want to make sure that you're putting it at the right spot. You don't want it to be sort of scrunched up. Pull one side through to the back like that, and then find a corresponding spot on the back here for the other side. Am I doing it so you can see? Pull that through like that, and you want to make sure that you have this lined up nicely. I can see that that one is being a bit silly. Let's tighten it a bit. Turn the head inside out if you need to. Okay, and what you could do is link these two up together because they're far enough apart. Take a single band. You've got both those loops on your hook. Take a single band to join them together like that. Now, obviously, there's a bit of leeway there. You tie a slip knot here, and then turn the head back the other way. But effectively, you have tied the eye on. Now, if you were doing another one next to it, you wouldn't put it slap bang in the middle like I have. You'd put it slightly to one side, and then you'd put the other one next to it, like I have with this one. Okay, so that's how I've done his eye. Now I'm going to do his hair at this point too, because I hate putting my hook through once I've already got stuffing in, because I feel it just goes everywhere. So if you have a look, you've got your little circle here that you started with, and you've got these little bands at the top here. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Put your hook through one, grab a black band, and you're going to tie a slip knot like that, and you're going to do that all the way around in each of these little yellow bands that you see at the top here. There's only going to be 5 of them. 2, 3, 4, and then here we go to 5. Get out of the way, you silly sausage. There we go. He was trying to bring a friend along. And 5. Now, what you're going to do with these is hold them all together like that. Take a pair of scissors, and you're going to snip the tops off. I've sort of held it like that because you don't want them too long. Snip the tops off, and there you have his little wispy hair at the top there. Get rid of these little bits. Now, at this point, we're going to start moving down towards his little dungarees, and we want to try and make it so we can get his arms to have blue over the top. It's a little bit tricky. It's a bit of trial and error because you want to sort of approximate where it is on his shoulder. So you're going to go either side. Now, I don't know whether you would like to maybe take a blue band, and you've got him squeezed halfway here, and just maybe go through where you want. So if I do one here and take a blue band, I'm just going to thread it through and do a very light slip knot just as a marker of where I want my blue band to go. And you can do it on the other side, and this is to be the top part of his dungarees, to go above his arms. Alright, and that's just a visual indicator of where we're going to do that. So put your hook back through your stitch here, and we're going to do a single crochet in yellow. Let's move these black bands out of the way. So a single crochet in yellow up to where we go to the blue. So 1, I'm going to do another single crochet in yellow, and then I'm going to use that blue band. So I'm going to go through the yellow. You see there's my little loop there, my little yellow loop there. But I'm going to take the blue band and I'm going to do a single crochet with the blue, and then I'm going to go back. Actually, I'm telling you a fib, I'm going to use the blue band in the next stitch. Let's take that out. So I'm going to do yellow in this one, and then the next stitch I'm going to do blue, because it will be moved backwards. If you have a look at this, as I come back, it's coming backwards, see? And then I'm going to do yellow all the way around to the next blue stitch. And it really is about just you visualizing how it is. There's no, I can't really count how many bands you have to go through. It's what's good for you and what looks good on yours. Now at this stage I'm doing a yellow, but my next stitch, because this blue band will move forward, I'm going to go into this next yellow stitch here, and this is the one I'm going to do my blue in. So grab my blue and go forward like that, and then do yellows all the way to the back again. So here I am back at the back. Put my stitch marker in. There I am. So this is sort of where we're going to put his arms. Okay. Now let's go through and do more. Still on yellow. Another yellow. And now I'm going to do a blue. Another blue, and another blue, so 3 blues like that. And now I'm going to do in this next one, if I can get my hand there, so we've done that one, this one, yellow, yellow, and now I'm going to do blue, and a blue, and a blue, and then yellow to the back. There's my last stitch. I'm going to put my stitch marker in there. Now, because I've sort of done, this is where I'm going to hopefully be adding his arms. Now I'm going to move to blue bands. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through the next stitch as a loop like this. So as a slip stitch, so that I can join that together, and I'm going to say this is my starting point, and I'm going to go back into this stitch next to it, and we'll do blue all the way around if I don't drop everything first. Now my first one I did with Rainbow Loom Ocean Blue, and I thought it looked lovely. I thought it was the right blue. I don't have any more, so I'm using a Rainbow Braid blue that I was given as a sample, and it's actually a nice blue, but it's different to work with crochet. It's very nice to loom with, but with crochet it's a little bit different. Okay, I'm going to go through my next. Let's see where I'm going to take my stitch holder out here. There's my 2 little loops there. I'm going to do my first single crochet, and I'm going to put my stitch marker in. Now, at this point, you could actually probably add the arms, and you're going to put them about here so that it looks like this is going above it. Okay, so the arms would go here and here. So I have my stitch, my loop on a stitch holder. I'm going to make his little arms so that we don't go too far without. So to do his arms, I'm going to take a single band. I'm going to wrap it once, twice, and 3 times. So it's wrapped. It's got 4 little loops. I've wrapped it 3 times to make 4 little loops. I'm going to take a single band, figure 8, loop it on itself, and slide these on like that. I'm going to do one more, figure 8, loop it on itself, and slide on. I'm going to do that another time. So push this down to the bottom of my hook. 1, 2, 3. Figure 8, loop it on itself. Do another one. And do it again. Figure 8, loop it on itself, move it forward like that. Now we're just doing 3 little hands on them. I'm going to take a single figure 8. I'm going to put it on the end of my hook, and I'm going to move all of these on like this, and I'm going to reclaim so that my little hand is sitting on the hook. Okay, and then I'm going to take another one and move it on like this. I'm going to take some yellow bands, figure 8, You want about 5 of the yellow. So I've got to 5. I'm going to do them a bit longer. Let's do 6. I'm going to do one more for 7. Like that. Now, what we're going to do, we want them to go here, but we want this blue one to sort of be above. So I'm going to sort of try and make it go about here. So what I'm going to do, I need to take this off my hook. I'm going to pinch underneath. Okay, I'm going to use a finer hook, but if you don't have one, it doesn't really matter. You're going to poke. You want one side to go either side of this here. So I'm going to poke my hook here and drag one side in. I'm going to hold the other side. See how it's here? Let's see if I can do that without it falling off my hook. So I'm dragging one side in. I've kept it on my hook. I'm going back the other side of that blue band to grab, if I can get his little arm out the way, the other 2 loops. Now remember, it is 2 loops, but it's 1 band, and you pull that in like that. So you have the arm trapped. If you have a look here, see if I can do this for you. I'm going to pull this in like I just said, so it's either side here. So you have the arm trapped and the blue band is above it, like that. You're going to take a single yellow, pull that through and tie a slip knot like that. And don't worry about the leftover. So it's sitting like this. Okay, so you've trapped that double band, it's not a double band, it's a band doubled on itself around this blue that was above. We're going to do the same. We're going to do it right here. Okay, for the other side. Now I've already made another arm, so pause the video and make another arm. And when you have, come back to me and we're going to put it right here. Okay, just like we did before. We're going to take it off our hook, so you need to pinch it. So you've got both sides there. Find where you're going to put it. So I'm going to put one side here. I'm going to grab one side on my hook. I'm going to pinch the other side. I'll bring that through. And of course I'm using a fine hook, so I'm losing everything. There we go. Nope, need a bigger hook. So I'm going to poke it through here. Put the 2 loops on my hook like that, drag it through. I'm going to go the other side of that band. See, there's the other side of it here. I'm going to put the other 2 loops. This is fiddly, but it's worth it. Pull my hook back through, so I have both of them here. Take a single, drag it through those loops, and tie a slip knot nice and tight. Again, don't worry about the fact that you have loose bands inside. Stuffing is going to hide that. So there's his arms attached. Now, you might like to do a little smile. You can do it after the fact, and that's fine, or you can do it now while there's no stuffing, which is always rather nice. So I'm going to take some black bands. And you approximate, I've sort of made it so his smile is sort of a little grin halfway across. I haven't done a big cheesy grin, I've just done this little sort of smile halfway across. So approximate where you want the smile to start, and I'm going to say I'll start my smile here. And I'm going to poke my hook through and grab a black band so that it's between those yellow. Reclaim one over the other. Like that. I'm going to hold it. I'm going to pick the next spot. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to put that hook, the loop on the end of my hook, and I'm going to take another black band and I'm going to drag it through that loop, but also through the new spot that I'm at. And again, I'm going to loop it through. And this is how I've done his smile. It's not the prettiest, it's sort of up there a bit. I'm going to move up a bit, so I'm going to this spot here. I'll take another black band through the loop and through the yellow, and I'll reclaim. So if that's all I want for my little smile, I will take a yellow band. Now the reason I'm choosing yellow is because the face is yellow. Okay, I'm going to go through one of these yellow bands here, grab the end loop of my black band, have them both together here, put my new yellow band through, reclaim, and tie a slip knot, and then I'm going to poke my hook through, grab that yellow tie-off band and pull it back so that it's inside his head. So that's how he's going to look like he's smiling. Okay, now I'm going to go back to where my holding hook is, my holding marker, and I'm going to put my hook back through that, and I'm going to keep doing more rounds of blue. All I need to do is blue until I get to the bottom. Now this is my first row of blue. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. Okay, and on this one, which was my original, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I did 8 on that one. So 8 minus 1 is 7. So you could do 7 more rounds of single crochet in blue. I'm going to do 6 more rounds, see how it looks, and I might then do the 7th round in black. So I'm going to do 7 more rounds of single crochet. Alright. Now somebody asked me whether I could do the emblem on the front of his dungarees. I did have a try. It didn't really look the best, so I sort of ditched it, but I can show you how to do it if you want. I'll do it maybe as we did the mouth. Through both. Find these ones a little bit, they don't slide as nicely. They're lovely bands to loom with, but to slide to do the crochet, a little tricky. So that was one. I'm on my second. As I said, if you have Rainbow Loom Ocean Blue, that is a lovely colour to do this with. Now I'm at the front here. If you did want to do an emblem, you could always just take a black band and then another black band next to it, and then move to blue and sort of do it that way. Or you could do it how I did the mouth. I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to now move to blue. It's not going to be extremely distinctive, but that's okay. Get out the way, hands. I'm back to the beginning here. Move my stitch marker. So I've done 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. This is 4. I'm just going to do blue. And then I'm going to do 1 black. And then blue again. So that's how I'm going to do the emblem. Nothing too fancy. If you choose to do it how I did the mouth, that's absolutely fine. It's a little difficult using these bands, I'm sorry. And move my stitch marker. So now on 5. See how he's turning out. Oops. And here I am at the end of 5. Move my stitch marker. Now if you have a look at how much it is on this one, see I have a couple more rows to go, a couple more rounds. So 6. So I will do 7 in blue as well. Yeah, these bands are difficult to work with for crocheting. So he's coming along. I'm going to do one more round. Sorry, let's do it so you can see. One more round of blue, and then I'm going to do a round of black. I have to say they remind me of Twinkies. And I've never eaten a Twinkie. My husband put me off them when the superhero ones came out, and there was an Incredible Hulk Twinkie, and it had green filling in it, which just was revolting. So, no. Not my cup of tea. Oh, come on, you silly thing. There we go. I'll be glad to get onto black. Now for this last stitch, I'm going to go through the blue. I'm going to grab a black band and do a slip like that, reclaim, put my stitch marker in, and now I'm going to be finishing my little dude with black. So I'm going to start by doing one round of black single crochet, these bands are so much easier to use. And I'm not putting legs on them, I'm making them like wee balls. So we just finish off with the black like this. Now our next round, I'm coming back to the black band where I started. I'm going to do a single crochet in that, move my stitch marker. Now I'm going to do a single crochet and a decrease. So through the first one from the front, and then grab the second stitch from the front as well. Place my band on my hook, drag it through that first one and through the second one, reclaim, one over the other and join, followed by a single crochet. Then we'll do another decrease through the next stitch through the front and grab the next stitch to it as well. So you have 2 stitches on your hook, grab from the front and then followed by a single crochet. A decrease through the next stitch and the one next to it. Pull it through, reclaim and do a single crochet next to it. Decrease. And a single crochet. Decrease. And a single crochet. And a decrease. And single crochet. At this point I'm going to put my hook in at my stitch marker and I'm going to stuff him. Okay, so I'm going to move out, back out. Oh, there we go. I'm going to grab my stuffing and we're going to stuff him before we close him up. So I'm using the 100% polyfill. I'm going to take my hook out. This is secure with my paper clip or stitch marker or safety pin or clip or whatever you've decided to use, and we're stuffing our little minion. And make sure he doesn't fall inside himself. There we go. That's a little better. Make sure you stuff all the way to the head. I hate this stuff. I always feel like it's in my eyes after I've used it. And it's not. It's nowhere near my eyes, but so stuff him, and it's up to you how squidgy you want him or how solid. So it's up to you how much stuffing you put in him. You can always take some out. Take some of this out. So I stuffed my little guy, find my little stitch marker, there it is. I'll grab my hook and put that back on. Now all we're doing, and I'm going to take my stitch marker out now because we don't have to be too pedantic about this. All we're going to be doing is decreases. So from here you're going to find the next stitch, go through it, and the one next to it, and go through it and do a decrease. And then do the same thing. Don't worry about doing a single slip, a single crochet after it. We're just doing decreases. Oops. As long as I don't lose all my stitches. Through the next one. And do our decrease. Through the next. Through the next. And you're just decreasing all the way until we have a very small hole here. Oops, let's try that again. Back through there. There we go. Now I'm going to do one more decrease, one in here and one there. And then I'm going to go through this one here with a single band, go through both of them like that, and slip stitch, and tie off in a slip knot, nice and tight. Okay, and then I'm going to put my hook up the back of him, poke it at the bottom, near where that tie-off band is, grab the tie-off band on the end of my hook, and pull it through the inside of our minion. So he's basically got the stitch, the tie-off stitch inside him, and there he is. Now this one is sort of a bit weebly. He doesn't really stand up terribly well, and that's okay. And he's also a bit fatter than the one I made at first, but not terribly so. There's his hair, and you have his little grin. And as I said, if you wanted to do, this one's thinner, if you wanted to do two of the glasses, you just do two of these and put one next to each other. You don't need to have the eye bit in the middle. You can just leave it like that. I quite like having the eye bit in the middle. And again, you don't need to have the emblem on him if you don't want to. You can leave that bit out as well. Completely up to you. I really hope you enjoy making him. Take care. Bye-bye.